Good afternoon, good morning. It's Mark Johnson from Loyalty 360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. Want to welcome you back to another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. In this series, we have the privilege of speaking with leading brands about what they are seeing and hearing on the front lines of customer channel and brand loyalty. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Geoff Alexander, who's the president and CEO of WowBow. Geoff, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the discussion. First off, we'd like to start these on a more personal level. Love to get to know the person we're speaking with, a little bit about their background, their kind of work history. So we'd love to know a little bit more about you, what you do at WowBow, and then also maybe a fun fact or a passion you have outside of work.
Sure. So originally born and raised in New York City, moved to Chicago out of college, joined Let Us Entertain You in 1993. Let Us Entertain You is a privately held restaurant group. 52 years old. It's opened a number of different concepts across the country. In its tenure, about 250 concepts have been created. Currently operating in 6 states, about 160 different restaurants among 62 different concepts. In 2003, we created WowBow. I took it over in 2009. WowBow is a quick serve, fast casual Asian brand doing steamed buns, pot stickers, rice bowls, salads, soups, noodle bowls, and over the tenure that I've been with it, we've gone from just brick and mortar to also into sports stadiums, college campuses, music festivals, food trucks, technology with fully automated restaurants. We've done grocery stores. And most recently, in the last 3 years, we've launched 700 virtual restaurants across the US and Canada, with other restaurants selling our food out their back door, third-party delivery.
Excellent. Okay.
Fun fact. You can't.
Fun fact. Yes. I'm sorry.
All right.
Fun fact would be good.
You got it. I teach a weekly spin class for the last 7 years. So indoor cycling teacher.
There you go. That's a fun fact. That's good. Cycling. Do you like outdoor riding as well, or just what's that?
You know what the problem is with outdoor riding? You got to get home. That's why I don't like outdoor riding. Indoor on the bike, I get on, I get off.
Yeah, I don't cycle, but I have kind of a Peloton kind of bike in the basement. I've had one for probably 15 years. So, but I ride at a quick pace, ride the Wall Street Journal every morning. But people are like, do you like to bike outside? I'm like, no, that's hot. There's bugs. There's no. Yeah, so that's
cars.
Good. Yeah, that's it. Well, that's what I have a motorcycle for. Much easier to use that than a motorcycle other than a bike. Anyway. So your loyalty program, a very successful program, the Bow Bucks Reward Program. Can you give us an overview of the program, how it works, how members engage with it, and what are the benefits to the consumer?
Sure. So we have in March of 2022, we launched a rewards program. It's not a loyalty program; it was a rewards program. And the idea of it is it's only available from wowbow.com. And we really did it to help grow traffic to all of our virtual partners across the US and Canada. Right now, everybody opens up their DoorDash app, their Uber app, Grubhub. The problem with those apps is all the customer data is owned by the third-party delivery platform. And we try to move everyone to go to wowbow.com. Then we own the customer data, so we can do better targeted marketing. We can better interaction with the consumer. We can ensure a better experience for them. So we launched this Bow Bucks program, which is only available if you order from wowbow.com. And the idea of it is for every dollar you spend, you get a point. When you spend $100, you get $7 free. Our check average is roughly $25 to $27 per order on third-party delivery. So on your 5th order, you would basically save 30% of your meal. We think that's a pretty good idea and a pretty good way to do it. We've had good success with it. And I come from full-service dining background, and I much rather see a loyalty program than a rewards program. The difference for me is when you go to a restaurant and you're a loyal customer, you're greeted at the front door, they know who you are. You don't have to wait as long for a table. You probably get a free dessert. And, the end all be all great thing is that the chef in their chef whites comes and visits your table. That's loyalty. It's hard to have loyalty when you're in a third-party delivery platform. So recently, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we launched a digital collectible membership program. And in this one, it's a $99 fee. The $99 gets you your own digital collectible. We are staying away from the word NFT because NFTs have a negative connotation now, but you get your own avatar, your own piece of art, and you get discounts on every order from wowbow.com, discounts from our merchandise store, double bow bucks for every order that you place, and more benefits will come your way, including the idea down the road, we haven't launched it yet, is you're at home cooking dinner for the family and you have a question on what you're cooking. Wouldn't it be great to be able to Zoom with our chef and talk about, he's worked in many different restaurants, many styles of cuisine, and now you have that idea of the loyalty of the chef visiting your table.
Yeah, that's awesome. You touched on something that's quite interesting, that the NFTs have kind of a negative connotation. What do you mean by that, just out of curiosity?
Well, in the crypto space, there's been a lot of negativity with crypto. I'm not going to get into, we've all read the papers, we all understand. Yeah. But the idea of owning an NFT is not the same cachet that it was, 24 months ago when we started down the road of investigating and trying to learn this space. And the world has changed at a dramatic rate as far as who wants to buy an NFT, why you want to own an NFT, what the value of an NFT is. So instead of just going out there and saying, wow, about selling NFTs, we're selling a pass to our membership club, which is called the Hot Buns Club. And your pass is your avatar or your digital collectible. We actually call them digital collectibles. They're characters with personalities. They're reminiscent of your minions behind you. And the idea of it is, by you purchasing your $99, you have one of these to do with as you please, to, reference it when you're making orders, to use it as an avatar, to show off to your friends. And the idea, again, if you go to loyalty, not rewards, but loyalty, there's an intrinsic value between you and the guest, between the guest and that entity that they're involved with, right? Yeah. If you're an Apple user, you have the watch, you have the phone, you have the iPad, you have the Mac, right? You believe in the brand. And if you believe in WowBow and order regularly from us, we want you to have this character that is unique and randomly digitized just for you.
That's awesome. Yeah, so it's more gamification focused. You're really looking at ways to personalize the offering, but create some sort of gamification, something unique that speaks to the individual versus, as you mentioned, NFTs kind of has that whole cryptocurrency and kind of the challenges that are associated with that.
Yes, and also our membership and our collectibles, you do not need crypto to buy. An email and a credit card allows you to purchase. So they are held on the blockchain, right? I mean, that's where they have to live, but you don't need crypto in order to purchase them. And the gamification you mentioned, we have plans down the road, right? We just entered the space now and nobody's in the space. I mean, aside from Starbucks, I only know of one other restaurant brand. It's a 1-unit store out of Ohio that does NFTs or does something to that effect. So we think we can help write the narrative of how restaurants and consumers interact in the metaverse, in Web3. And we have a ton of ideas as we continue to explore the space and go. This is our first step. This is infancy. And we've always been an early adopter of technology. In 2010, we were doing self-ordering kiosks. In 2017, we had a fully automated restaurant with no human interaction. So we believe in technology. And when you're early to it, you can help write the narrative of how the world will utilize and interact with this technology. And we're excited for that.
That's awesome. When you look at the kind of the Bow Bucks program, for every dollar the reward the customer, every dollar spent, you have a reward opportunity. They earn a point, and they earn 100 points. They get $7 in Bow Bucks. How do you feel the structure of the program you have now with kind of the basic currency application and also having the collectibles, is keeping customers engaged, and maybe how do you see it evolving in the future?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the Bow Bucks as a rewards, we've had great success with it. No one's saying it in any way didn't work, or I hate to use the word failed, which is why we're changing. We are enhancing that program. And that Bow Bucks idea, that's really one-way communication. You purchase food, you get points. That's not community. And that's why I say it's not loyalty, it's rewarding. We much rather prefer to take it and raise the level, right? One up what we're already doing. And that's why we've now enhanced it with the membership program, where we can actually have communication, right? You're going to join our membership club. We're going to have your email. We're going to be able to reach out with you, and you get double points on every order. So instead of it taking 4 orders to get $7, you can get $7 credited to your account in 2 or 3 orders now. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
we sped up the process for you and are able to communicate with you. That is what I think people want more than what they've ever wanted before. Coming out of COVID, there was no communication, right? We were all
Yeah.
just sitting home and some random guy was dropping food off at the front door and running away before we opened the door. We want to get back to, hospitality. A lot of people you talk to, they talk about the food service or the food business or the food industry. Yes, we sell food, but we're in the hospitality business. And pre-COVID, all of us were in the hospitality industry. During COVID, we all lost the hospitality, became the food business. We're trying to get back to hospitality by increasing and giving more to the program that we created a year ago.
That's awesome. And when you look at employee engagement's very important, especially with the diverse offering you have, kind of how you get out to the market. What does employee engagement mean to your bigger picture customer loyalty, customer experience efforts?
So the loyalty program that we have and the rewards program, they are only available for third-party delivery. So the customer interaction for our employees isn't one-to-one, right? We're preparing food. And the question becomes is how do you get interaction with the consumer? So we're interacting on a much higher level than employee making food, putting in a bag, right? This is the brand communicating to the guest. To get that interaction from the employee, they have to understand their role in the process, right? They are furthering the brand. The better they do their job, the more care they put into making sure the food is right, food is consistent, the food gets in the bag, the better the experience for the end user, which creates return guests, which creates more work, which creates more business, which furthers their own career. I remember during the pandemic, one thing we did, and we had all of our employees doing it, we were writing notes on every bag, smiley faces, have a great day, keep smiling, right? Whatever mood you were in, whatever joy you were feeling, you were to communicate that to that guest to create a connection. That's what I mean about the hospitality business. The employees, those frontline employees, they are the crux of us giving the best service, the best hospitality possible.
Okay. So from employee emotional loyalty is another area of germane interest to our audience, growing interest, but how do you get to emotional loyalty? Can be a big challenge. What does emotional loyalty mean for you and for your brand?
Well, emotional loyalty for the brand has many different facets, but you asked about employees, so I'm going to focus on that one for the answer, right? Our number one word when you open up our employee handbook, the first word that you see when you open the employee handbook is the word care. And that's what people want. They want to be cared for. They want to feel included, and they want to feel like they have a voice. So when you talk about loyalty engagement from an employee standpoint, it's all about opening, your business to them, opening your ears to what they have to say, making them feel included and valued. I mean, that is what we're supposed to do. Hospitality business doesn't mean you only give hospitality to the guest. The more hospitality and the more care you give to your employees, the more hospitality and care translates to the guest. And we fully are committed and believe in taking care of our people. And we have employees who next month, being August 22nd, we will celebrate our 20-year anniversary of Wow Bao. Last month, May 24th, I celebrated 30 years with Let Us Entertain You. I'm 30 years with the company, and we have employees who are going to celebrate 20 years with the brand because of the underlying oath that we care and that we share and let people have their say.
That's awesome. Employee engagement is something that brands talk about, but a lot of them are challenged to do that. Even from our perspective in our awards category every year, it's one that it seems to get the fewest nominations, and some get 60, 70 nominations, and the employee engagement one gets 5, 6, 7. So it's great to hear you talk about what you're doing, but also the passion you have for it and just the commitment that you seem to have behind it, which is great.
Yeah, and look, I appreciate that. And what I've learned is whatever's important to the leader, the business will do. If you like clean restaurants, your restaurants will be clean. If cleanliness is number 7 on your priority list, you're going to have dirty restaurants. So when you talk about employee engagement, employee loyalty, the importance of the employee. If it's important to the leader, it's important to everybody.
Absolutely.
So that's what it comes down to. If you don't care about it, no one else is going to care about it. Your employees are going to focus on what you care about and deliver on what's important to you. And if you only care about the bottom line, everything else is going to fall apart just to make the bottom line be successful. You only care about sales, everyone's going to not worry about anything else. What we've learned, some of it the hard way, is the more you give to your employees, the easier the rest of the business becomes and the more money you make and the happier everybody is. And that's the true focus that we have.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can wholeheartedly agree with that. I think it's something that was a challenge to us going through COVID right now. We're very focused on our employees and trying to do cool things and give them kind of exciting jobs. Because at the end of the day, if you have a job that's rewarding and you're doing cool things, it's the best way to keep people around and happy. I think rewarding work.
I'll also say our home office, pre-COVID, we had 11 people in the office. Post-COVID, we're at 23. We have been 5 days a week, 8:30 in the morning to 5:30 p.m. in office since August of 21. I personally have been in the office since June of 20. I only was gone for 6 weeks working from home. I've always been in the office during the stretch, and we've been in the office full time, and it's different. Humans are social creatures. And we have learned, if you're in the restaurant business and you're asking your frontline employees to go to work every day, you better ask your home office staff to go to work every day. And we have found that by doing so, making it an enjoyable place to be, both at store level and at the office level, you get the best out of your people. You get better productivity. You get happier people. You get communication. You get growth. The growth that we have had in the last 3 years is unprecedented. From April 20 to now, we've done 700 locations virtually in the US and Canada. We've done 4,000 groceries with our freezer section. We've done 1,500 sushi counters with our grocery fresh product. And we've launched 5 airports, all in 3 years during the toughest point the restaurant business has ever faced. And I attribute that to the team. That is not work that Geoff Alexander did whatsoever. I'm very honored and humbled to be the voice and the face to get on your show right now. But my team is the one who's working day in and out, and they are working hard, I hope and believe, because they're happy and they feel respected and taken care of, and they are loyal to that.
That's awesome. So when you look at kind of the economy in general right now, it's somewhat of a challenging economy. Job growth seems to be still strong. And obviously employment seems to be very strong as well, but inflation's high, coming down a little bit. But how can customer loyalty, that bigger picture customer loyalty, even on the employee side, be a hedge against some of the economic uncertainty brands are seeing today?
Well, look, loyalty is about a relationship. If you have a relationship with your guest, they're going to come back. And when you're talking about uncertainty, which is, will the guest come back? Will your sales grow, right? Do you have enough business to support your employees? If you have a relationship with the consumer, you're ahead of the game. I mean, Apple launched in the last week the announcement of a $3,500 virtual, VR headset. And all over the internet is, I can't believe this thing's $3,500. This is crazy. I'm pretty sure the day they hit the stores, there's going to be lines around the block. Because people are loyal to Apple. They believe in the product. And they believe in the product because of the way you're treated as you go in there, the way they fix your problems, and the quality of the products you're getting. We believe the same thing at WowBow. We treat people with respect. We give them a great, consistent product. And it's more about just serving food. It's asking how someone's day is. It's recognizing that guest when they come back in and thanking them for being there. A lot of, the 3 restaurants we have, the 3 brick and mortar in Chicago that we have, are all in central business districts. We are getting creamed in Chicago because we're at 30 or 40% capacity still to this day. We value every single person that walks in the door, every single person. And this idea with our virtual restaurants, on all of our packaging, we put QR codes that help you to reheat the food because you always have leftovers when you order delivery. Right?
Yep.
We have the rewards program. Now we launched the membership. It's all about engaging with the consumer that will allow you to survive and flourish during these uncertain times of the economy.
Okay, yeah, good point. When you look at other loyalty programs, obviously you guys do a great job from a customer loyalty and a rewards perspective. Are there other customer loyalty programs that you admire that you think are doing a great job or a good job from a customer loyalty, customer experience perspective? And if so, what do you like about their offering?
Well, I really like those that have their app, if they have an app, Sweet Green, Chipotle, that you go into one place and the whole thing just works for you, which I think is beautiful and I think is great. I'm one of the few people in the world that still goes to bookstores. And I've always been a member of Barnes and Noble's thing where I actually pay $25 every year to get 10% off all the books I purchase. So for that, does it equate? And when you buy a lot of books, it totally works. But look, I love my American Airlines and my United and my Marriott and my Hyatt, right? Hotels and airports,
Yep.
air travel have been doing this for decades. Have they hit bumps in the road? When you get to the scale of members that they have, of course they have to change their programs. And of course, no one likes change and misses the perks. Still, the perks are pretty good to have. If you go from not having them or having them to losing them, you miss them. So I think there's a lot to do it right. And I'll end the answer to that question with everybody wants to feel special. Whether special means you get, I remember Jersey Mike's used to have a punch card, right? And 10 times eating there, then you got your free sandwich. Everybody just wants to feel like they're valued. So if you have a loyalty program, you are doing something to make someone feel valued. Make sure they feel it. And if you don't have a loyalty program, you really should, because value is what's important to people. And it doesn't take a lot to make someone feel that they have value to your business.
That's not a good point. Yeah, I think it's the simple things that you spoke to and of that can truly drive unique engagement and customer loyalty. When you look at overall, what can Loyalty 360 do to help you and your team and your customer loyalty journey?
Well, I think it's important what you're doing. You're giving a platform for us to say what we're doing, which we appreciate and thank you. But you're also highlighting what other people are doing. And by sharing what other people do, you are allowing us to rethink our own platform. Are we doing enough? What's the best practices? What are things to stay away from? Right? What am I not a member of now that I should go be a member of? So
Right.
The platform that you're giving us, me, when I say us, me and anyone else who's on your show, or you're making visible to others to learn about, that's a great help. Not everyone knows we have a rewards program. Not everyone knows we have a collectible membership program. Not everyone knows that this product is available on a bigger scale. That soapbox that you're allowing us to scream from the rooftops is very valuable, and we thank you for it.
Great. Well, Geoff, it's been very interesting speaking with you today. Your passion, as I mentioned earlier, is definitely on display for the customers and for your employees. And I think how you're looking at customer loyalty, and especially as you kind of expand the product offering through just different channels, is very unique. And a lot of times these interviews aren't as engaging, and the passion doesn't kind of come through like it does with you. So thank you very much for the passion you have for the industry and taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. And look, we all got into the restaurant industry for a reason, and we're in it to give, right? People surround themselves with food at the time when you're at the worst moment of your life. We bring food, right? At the celebration of your life, we surround ourselves with food. That is what we're in. So I appreciate you recognize the passion. All of us in this industry had at one point, and hopefully still has, that passion.
Yep, excellent, excellent. Well, again, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today, and thank you everyone for listening. Make sure you join us back for another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series, hopefully with someone as passionate as Geoff, coming up soon. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.